He gets out of the car, starts confronting the suspect, says, hey, let me see your hands, turn around, let me see your hands. The suspect isn't really compliant, but he's just kind of slow moving. He slowly turns to his back to the officer, and he takes off running around the back of the business. So the officer takes off in a foot pursuit. As he hits the corner, he sees the suspect, pulls the pistol from his waistband. He yells for him, drop, stop, gun, 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 engages the suspect. He shoots multiple.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you in your feet.
Taylor House, we got the school.
Taylor House Publishing.
Jacksonville, Florida, once again. About the fourth time in a month and a half. There you see one of the lead investigators of the Jacksonville Sheriff Department talking about the incident that led to another shooting of a young black male, 18-year-old Cerry Banks. Now, fortunately, this time, Mr. Banks survived after being shot multiple times while again running away from police officers. Now, the story, as it was related in a couple of these articles, says that Cerry Davis, 18-year-old Cerry Davis, was texting what was said to be a 13-year-old girl. Now, something that, of course, I don't condone. Nevertheless, he was texting the girl and evidently her mother. The girl's mother got wind of the relationship. Maybe she checks her daughter's phone, as some parents do. And in answer to those texts, the mother evidently started texting Cerry back. Now, I'm not sure if he knew it was the mother or if the mother set this encounter up. Regardless of the fact, they met the next day at Popeyes. And mind you, this happened yesterday. The day is the 12th. This happened on the 11th. They met at Popeyes and they confronted Mr. Banks. Now, according to the mother and according to what police are putting out, is that when the mother confronted Mr. Banks with their 13-year-old daughter and her 11-year-old son, he lifts up his shirt and shows a handgun and says, and they quote, don't worry about it. When you hear the shots tonight, you know what time it is, or you know what was up. Something of that nature. Once again, I still don't see just a young man doing that, threatening a mother and her child like that because, the mother confronted him. More, what's more plausible if he said, oh, shoot, and ran away, But nevertheless, if he did so, the mother ran inside the Popeyes after, the man brandished the gun, according to the police. She ran into the Popeyes and she took the children with her. And when she ran in, she called the police. Now, they said at this point, Cerry Davis didn't leave the scene. He walked around to the back of the building and just apparently waited for the police to come. Now, they said almost 30 minutes have passed, and when the police come up, Officer Garion Robertson, he got out of the car and spoke to the young man and told him to, put his hands up and, turn around or whatever. It was then, and you'll hear the rest of that press conference. We're going to analyze that press conference. But then you said, you hear him say, well, he kind of complied, but he didn't. But, then he turned around to run. And then as he ran, they said he ran around the corner of the building. And when the officer came around the corner of the building, they said he was running away still. And he pulled the gun out. Now, once again, I don't know why these young men just all of a sudden running away from police and pull the gun out. I don't believe it, because once again, it doesn't make sense. If you're running from police, and you got a gun in your waistband, you just run with the gun. But, nobody pulls the gun out when they run the police, unless they're about to throw it. You pull the gun out and you throw it. And then, you keep running, hope to get away. They get the gun, and then you get away. Everybody goes home, right? And so this particular officer says, well, as soon as he saw the gun, he told him, hey, stop, gun. And then, the rest of the story. Fired multiple rounds. They said he struck the young man. The gun dropped, and the young man continued to run, trying to get away. He actually got away, but then the sheriff employed the K9 unit, and then they found him in some sort of drainage area. And then he was charged with multiple charges, including, texting the woman's child. But again, this is another story of a young black man running away from the police, whether armed or not. Having a gun, running away with a gun is not imminent danger. Does not put police in an imminent threat. And so this officer, and you'll hear them say again, this is his first officer-involved shooting. Like, there's going to be more. But keep in mind, this is like the fourth officer-involved shooting in Jacksonville within the last month and a half. Now, of course, we know that the sheriff of Jacksonville is a black man, T.K. Waters, and he always gets up there and instead of him giving the narrative, he always allows a white man to tell the story. I can't make this up. And so he defers to them. And we always spoke about, the counties with the black sheriff, i.e. Sheriff Brain, are somewhat of just a figurehead for things like this to continue to happen. So I'm going to play the rest of this video, or the video from the beginning to end. But just look at the title. Armed man shot by officer after confrontation with mother over texting the mother's child. Now, armed man right there puts the onus or the culpability or the irresponsibility of the police in this situation. Oh, he was armed. So yeah, he should have been shot. Just because you are armed does not mean that police should shoot you, especially if you're not pointing or firing the gun at them. But this is the beginning of this press conference. I'm gonna try not to stop it so much, but there's a couple of things I do want to interject as we watch this police conference. Here we go.
Thank you, Sheriff. So good morning. So I'll start by talking about the suspect, because it kind of leads up to what happened this morning. So the suspect in this case, he's an 18-year-old male. He's been having an inappropriate text relationship with a 13-year-old female. Last night sometime, the 13-year-old's mother became alerted to what was going on. She got the phone and started conversing with this guy herself. So she set up this morning a meet with the gentleman to come up here at 7 a.m. to the Popeyes to meet him and confront him. She showed up with a 13-year-old daughter and her 11-year-old son. They show up to talk to the suspect, and he confronts them with a pistol in his waistband, lifts it, and says, "When you hear the shots tonight, you'll know what's up." So the mother grabbed the kids. They went inside the Popeyes. The suspect walked around the back of the business at that point.
All right, so 57 seconds in, he's referred to the man 4 times as a suspect. Once again, you don't know the mental capability or the mental power of words. when they consider, they constantly say suspect, 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 suspect. In your mind, you're hearing bad person, criminal, robber, dangerous man. They're steady planting that in your subconscious mind that, oh yeah, don't worry about this. This is just a dead, dangerous man. And, once again, the story seems implausible that the man would just, lift up his shirt and do that. But here you're going to see what led to.
She calls the police, calls in the aggravated, assault, so to speak, with the pistol. Police show up. If they get there, it's a few minutes go by. They get there, and when the officer pulls up in the back, the suspect is still standing at the back of the business. He's had plenty of time to leave. This is approximately 30 minutes after the initial call. So he gets out of the car, starts confronting the suspect, says, "Hey, let me see your hands. Turn around. Let me see your hands." The suspect isn't really compliant, but he's just kind of slow moving. He slowly turns to his back to the officer, and he takes off running around the back of the business. So the officer takes off in a foot pursuit. As he hits the corner, he sees the suspect, pulls the pistol from his waistband. He yells for him, drop, stop, gun, 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 engages the suspect. He shoots multiple times. The suspect continues around the neighboring business and drops the gun. He continues running. The officer tracks him and loses sight of him. So the responding officers set up like a perimeter. K-9 responds to assist with the search, and they find the suspect. He had crawled up in like a drainage, like culvert. He was back in there, so they called him out without further incident. They got him into custody, and at that point, they started medical aid on him, requested an ambulance. Ambulance came and transported him to a local hospital, and from what I understand, he is now in stable condition. He was hit multiple times, and I'll give you his information at this time.
All right, so there he go again, mentioning the word suspect another 6 or 7 times. Now, you heard him say at the beginning, yeah, well, they called about the assault, so to speak. Like, he's very matter-of-factly with this. And then when he says that the officer told the man, to put your hands up, well, he's sort of complying, not really complying. He's moving slow. Then he takes off running. And then again, you hear him say, well, he kind of pulls the gun like he don't really want to say it, because this story is just said over and over and over and over. A suspect running from the police pulls a gun out. Not he pointed it at the police, not he shot at the police, not, he started, he made a shooting motion. He just said he pulled the gun out, which once again, that still remains to be seen. And now, fortunately for the young man, he's in stable condition. They're going to give his information out. But listen also until, they start asking questions, as well as giving this officer's information out.
Suspect's name is Cerry Banks. It's spelled Cerry, Banks, Banks. Black male, 3/18/06. This is our 7th officer involved shooting of the year. The state attorney's on scene conducting their investigation. And the officer involved is Garrion Robinson. That is Garrion Robinson. His ID is 7273. He was hired as a bailiff, and he transitioned over to an officer, and he's been an officer with us for about 7 years now. And this was his first OIS. So we could take a few questions with that time.
Did the suspect return fire? Obviously it sounds like he may have pulled out a pistol. Was there an exchange? Or?
It doesn't appear so at this time, but we're still reviewing all the evidence at the scene, but it doesn't appear so at this time.
After he was hit, did he drop to a drainage area? Specifically, where is that scene located?
So he went through the woods behind the business, and it's a culvert that it looks like it goes to the other side of the interstate. So I don't know the exact location, but it's back in the wooded area. Not far.
So let's stop it here, because he said the officer has been with the department for 12 years. No, he was a correctional officer for 12 years. Now he's out there shooting people in the back while they run away. And you heard the person ask, hey, did the suspect return fire? Well, not. Well, we don't know for sure, but the evidence is still being collected. But as of now, we don't think so. So you know the suspect didn't return fire. You know that man didn't return fire to this officer, but it's not conducive to the whole story to point blank put it out there. You still have to paint him as a potential dangerous threat to society. But let's continue.
Not far.
Where he was shot on his body, you mentioned he's disabled.
So it looks like it was once in his hand. There's something in the torso, and I heard maybe one in the leg.
When the mother was talking to him last night, did this look like no, it was the mother, or
No.
did she pretend to be the daughter?
Nah, he wasn't that smart. He thought he was still talking to the girl.
Would you not advise for parents to do something like that, though, for the safety of everyone?
So we have a unit that does those type of investigations you guys are aware of. Obviously, we prefer to leave it to the professionals because you never know what's going to happen. Luckily, he didn't shoot him, so you never know what somebody's going to do when their back's against the wall. So we would, obviously, I don't want to speak for everybody, but it's probably better to leave it to the professionals and let them handle the investigation.
We heard there's a second scene.
All right, so when the person asked him where was he shot, well, in the head, something in the torso. No, you just say the back, because you can't hit him in the torso from the front if he's running away. So just say in the hand, in the leg, and in the back. And then another offhanded, disrespectful comment when he said, well, did he know who he was talking to, the daughter of the mother? Nah, he's not that smart. He's not that smart. That is the attitude that they have, towards us, towards, our young black men. That is the attitude. So that makes it easy for them to, oh yeah, he's just a dumb N-word. Let's do this. We're going to get away. He had a gun. He threatened somebody. Case closed. Armed suspect. Confrontation.
Scene over by Dollar General. We heard some rumors of potentially some sort of police chase. Are these incidents related?
I don't know if that's related or not. I don't know where the other scene is, but I don't know of a Dollar General around here. So.
And you did say you recovered a gun?
Yep, it's over at the scene where he dropped it.
Did he drop it when he was hit, or did he drop it before he was hit?
It looks like he dropped it as he was hit. So I don't know if it knocked out of his hand, because his hand is definitely one of shots. So I don't know the answer to that, but it's definitely where he was shot.
Any indication that any of the businesses or houses nearby may have been hit by any of the bullets?
No.
So then how many scenes would be for this incident specifically?
Only the two that I know of.
That being the drainage
Correct.
area where he was found here.
And in between, if they do another article search or whatever, make sure nothing else was dropped, but that's it.
Was the suspect known to police, and did he have a prior record?
I don't have that information at this time. They're still doing what they do.
So Janice, to further your question about, I think someone asked about parents, or absolutely we'd like for parents to let us handle these situations. But it's protective in nature, and moms and dads are going to do what they feel they need to do to protect their kids, in which we can't really blame them for doing that. But we do ask to allow us to make sure we take care of situations like this. But listen, I can't blame mom either.
St. Johns County put out a release a couple months back talking about, citizen-led sort of sting operations for people who may be engaging in, soliciting minors for sex. I mean, I would imagine if
Right, so we'll end it there because they begin to talk about, sting operations with, people talking to people who they shouldn't be talking to. But nevertheless, it's just alarming how many times that they use the word suspect. Pay attention, at least 30 or 40 times. So as I mentioned, the psychological effect of that word being implanted in your mind causes you to think of Cerry Banks, the 18-year-old boy, I'll say it, boy, who may or may have not had a gun, who may have or may have not threatened someone, who may or may have not been inappropriately texting somebody. It paints him as, once again, the criminal, the dangerous, the offender, and this other article, as you can see, the picture here, and you see this article right here. You see that? It shows the two officers and the gun laying on the ground, which further, okay, well, this guy was shot because he was a danger. No, he was not a danger. He was running away. And just like you implored the K9 to find him. You could have let him go, let him run around. You can't outrun the ghetto bird, which is the helicopter. You can't outrun the radio. You can't outrun none of those things. So why would you employ that tactic if not needed? Because you know why? They know they can get away with it. Once again, he characterizes it as this officer's first involved shooting, which I'm going to let you know there's going to be more. Once again, this is 4 in about a month and a half. If that. I think, no, it was October the 12th last year, last month, when what's my man name? Hayden, got hit, and then it was another one. And then it was the butter knife guy. Like, all of these have been documented on this page, so you can go back and look at it. But only thing I want people to realize that a black man with a gun is not a threat. A black man just possessing a gun is not a threat. A black man walking down the street with a gun in his pocket and in his waistband is not necessarily a threat that needs to be shot down. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings. Y'all have a blessed day.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor.